Hey there! It is St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Shortly after the Ides, a couple days ago, and not really a special day for the Hogan family. We're half Irish and stuff. So I did dig out one of my nice green shirts, and gonna keep this kind of short today because some really exciting things going on that I will tell you about next week, probably. So just a quick little rundown of some of the things that were... Oh, you know what? I meant to break out two things here that I didn't get to. One was a copy of my Sweet Thursday album. Haven't had much response. I guess Sweet Thursday hasn't really grabbed anybody's attention yet. That's okay. But I hope you listen to some of those songs. And the first guitar thread was really cool. I was about to start digging through my basement. I do have my first guitar. I got it when I was 8 or 9 years old. Cheap nylon string guitar made in Mexico. I've still got a cheap soft shell case that came with it. I've got a Notre Dame leprechaun sticker on it from when I was in 6th grade. Made a trip back to South Bend to visit some of my relatives and took the guitar with me. Took a few weeks off school. It was family funeral kind of stuff, but it was and all my that's when I really got to know all my cousins in Indiana. It was pretty cool. So I will try to break that guitar out. It also has a big smash in the corner from, well, never mind. It was a little conflict going on with my sister and I back in, what year would that be? Probably 1966. Yeah, because in 1968 I got my nice steel string guitar that I think I've shown you once in a while. 68 or yeah, it was in 68. It's the Yari steel string guitar. So that was like my first real guitar. The one before that was this cheap old nylon string. The action about this high, and I'll have to see. I bet it still has strings on it, and I guarantee those strings are going to be 40 years old. Wow. Anyway, a little bit about what's going on around here. I liked it was kind of cool to see the picture of our IGC folks, Bart and Ted, and really it is really neat to see how people connect because of camp and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to this year and seeing everybody again. The usual. We've got a few spots left, I think. I gotta check on that. But if you're thinking about it, contact me because I'm not sure everything's working right. Oh, I did get the message off to Jamila about the busking thing, and I hope that might be under control and working again. So I really just have a couple things I want. Oh, I guess the new stuff this week. I should tell you what we had. Got to a little bit of. I added a segment to City of Stars that I hope you've looked at that is completely kind of independent of the thing, and it's just about arpeggios. Easy patterns to be able to visualize arpeggios using different chord shapes. Major, minor. Out of both what I would call the G shape and the C shape, and an E shape and an A shape. So anyway, just decided to drop that into the little part on City of Stars, and then went through the whole... Oh, one thing I do have to mention about that. I may have made a lot of confusing comments in there when I refer to different keys, because the song is in a minor key, but the first resolution is on the second resolution of the second line is on the relative major chord, but it always comes back and ends on the tonic minor chord. Now, it also starts on chord 4 in the minor key. So sometimes I refer to the A minor version. Well, that's the one that starts on A minor, that's really in the key of G, really in the key of E minor, no, then capo to the 2nd fret, really in the key of F sharp minor. Then there's the E minor version that is really in the key of D, but no, capoed up to the 3rd fret, really in the key of F, no, in the relative minor version, D minor. Wait a minute, no, not possible, no. Now, there was an intentional mistake in there. If you want to dig it all up and spot it, that'd be great. Anyway, if somebody would like to explain, even on here, their understanding of my different references to the key of City of Stars, I would love it. Be kind of weird little progression. What else did we have? I'm Yours. Sandy was working on that. I have another really cool tune coming up probably next week that Sandy dug out. My students, many of them, come in with just off-the-wall stuff, meaning stuff that we have never even talked about, and I never know where the lesson's going to go. One of them came in 2 weeks ago, and just beginnings had grabbed her, and she said, I got to learn that. So we went off in that direction, and I had her listen to a lot of other Chicago stuff, Introduction and Make Me Smile and stuff like that. It was pretty fun. What else? Max. Really appreciate Max dropping in some lessons. Little Led Zeppelin. Again, well, I think he really brings us a different, certainly a different feel, and it's really cool having Max's contributions to the site. So hope you probably haven't had too much of a chance to look at Kashmir yet, but that really just came out today. And the last thing I wanted to get to today, although I'm probably forgetting a bunch of stuff that I was on my list, is really like seeing there were a couple of busking things that came out really, really neat. Really appreciate Lynn knocking on the St. Patrick's Day door. And Chris, wow, I love your Moody Blues tune. How's it go? Yikes. Well, I should have worked this out, but really cool. It's just neat to relive and revisit and hear those songs again. So, which I think leads me to a story, and this will wrap up today's thing. When I was 20 or so, I was really into Renaissance music, and I was playing the lute and walked. I spent many weekends at the Northern California Renaissance Fair. The first 4 or 5 weeks, I just had a guitar, and by the last one, my lute had shown up. I've been waiting for a lute to be built. And I was walking around the fair. I was just they just let me in free to like play off in corners and stuff like that. It wasn't like I was really part of the show. And I was walking by a booth where I heard harp music. And so I stop and listen. I've got my guitar either on my back or something like that. And this lady is playing Irish harp music. And it turns out it was for a builder named J. Witcher. And her name was Martha Blackman. And she asked me, she saw me stand there with a guitar, and she asked if I wanted to come play along with her. So I kind of like hopped into their little caged off area and just started playing along. She was playing a bunch of Irish harp tunes. Local Carolyn and stuff I didn't really know very well. But we started getting together afterwards and just playing. And she introduced me to a lot of songs where she would just play them for a little play, and I'd play chords and stuff. And we even had some gigs around Palo Alto. She was an early music teacher at Stanford at the time. So anyway, I haven't talked to Martha in quite a few years. I hope she's doing okay. She even took me to a Julian Bream concert and introduced me to Julian Bream. They were old friends. That was too cool. We were actually supposed to have dinner. I may have told this story before, but it's been a long time. I hadn't planned on going to the Julian Bream show, and he was playing at Zellerbach Hall in Berkeley. And she called me that afternoon and said, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" I said, "I don't know, just sitting around practicing guitar." She goes, "You want to go see Julian Bream?" I said, "Oh, maybe. That would be pretty cool." She says, "Because Julian and I are having dinner afterwards." I thought, "You mean, are you inviting me to have dinner with you and Julian Bream?" And she said, "Yeah." "Okay, I'm there." So we went, caught the show. This is probably about 1977 or 78. I have to go back through. I'm sure there are archives of when he played everywhere, but noticed as he was playing the guitar part of his show, he seemed to be making a lot of strange mistakes. And afterwards, and he played the lute flawlessly. Can't remember which happened first, but so afterwards we go backstage to meet him, and we walk into this room, and he's surrounded by people, and he spies Martha out of the corner of his eye, and he kind of like drops everything he's doing and comes rushing over to her, gives her a big hug, and introduces, and she introduces me, and it was one of those kind of shocking things when you meet somebody that you've never actually seen. Julian Bream was about this tall compared, I'm looking at him, anyway, small guy, but he unfortunately had to hop on a plane that night. He was having problems with his guitar, and he had to get to LA to have his guitar tech work on it, so we did not get to do the dinner thing. So that was one of my cool experiences with Martha. The other was another one was getting introduced to some really cool Irish music. You'd think I would know some of this, being Irish. And so here's a song that I remember playing with her called Down by the Salley Gardens, that is a musical setting of a poem by Yeats, W.B. We'll see how this goes. I haven't really thought about this song till just now. Now the melody really went like I played it in the beginning. One that stuck with me all these years because I just loved playing it with her. Beautiful tune. Hope you enjoy it or enjoyed it. If you want to play it, let me know. I'll put together an arrangement on that. Otherwise, I will be back next week.